Hey, what's good, fam? Welcome to another episode of the Feed Me, Fuel Me podcast. Durs and Jeff coming to you from Oceanside, California. And today we've got the esteemed pleasure to catch up with one of my old coaches,
Hey.
Doc H.N. Navy Corpsman. Is it Corpswoman? Are they changing all that stuff?
No, it's totally Corpsman.
Jessica Woods.
Cropsman.
The Corpsman. How are you?
I'm well. I'm doing well.
I'm so pumped that we got to catch up. This is
know.
very impromptu. So first of all, thank you for hopping on the mic with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah.
After all this time, man, now I'm finally on the show.
So, how's life in SoCal?
Life in SoCal is life in SoCal. I mean, we were just talking, I can't beat this view. Like, every day, I'm so grateful where I get to be, where I get to wake up, and where I get to work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blessed to be in this place and just doing the job that I'm in. I wouldn't change it for the world, but SoCal life, never thought I'd fit into Cali life necessarily. I'm from the South originally, so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm such Southern kind of girl, and how I was raised. So California's gonna eat me alive. And then I got here, I was like, no, these people are chill out here. I like this vibe. So it's been good. And being on base, everyone's welcoming. So
sure,
yeah, it's good.
So there's this theme of transition that we've been working through since we've been out here doing the show, and as I've hired my new coach for organizational leadership, one of the things that we've unpacked in our coaching sessions is what PHX is for the people that are part of the organization. Mm-hmm. And by and large, there is a huge component of what we do and the way that we do it that facilitates transition. And you are part of that story, in that we got you as you were making your transition away from California, right? You got what you needed from the experience. I think that, the universe brought you to me for this, I want to do the military, but I don't know how to do it, what I want to do in the military, mentorship, mentee thing. And then you join the Navy, and here you are, right?
Yeah.
But for everybody who doesn't know who you are, where you come from, and what that journey is in detail, kind of walk us through it.
Okay. So I brand new to the military. I'm baby doc. So been in for a short time. Durs was one of the last movers to me to give me that kick in the rear. This is time to do it now, time to jump. So I'm grateful for that, to the end of the world. So I started, I've always wanted to join. I always wanted to serve. But after high school, I went to school for political science, international affairs. So I went to Arizona State. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that whole, run and gun from the back side of it. I'm going to do the politics thing. So I at least get to, make law. And, I want to be, this congresswoman down the road. Mm-hmm. Long story short, through life experience, life journey, ended up in different states. I did lobbying work and things like that, worked for nonprofits here and there. So I got to do a lot of networking, a lot to learn a lot of tools that now I know have helped me in the military, and nothing happens out of chance. Everything happens for a reason. So I'm where I'm supposed to, I'm where I need to be, essentially. So, going through politics and everything, I got to North Dakota, and I was prior married, and after that, I got back into coaching, because in North Dakota, there's nothing to do out there. So got into coaching. And I was like, this is my niche. I love doing this, hands-on. And, when you find that thing, you find that passion that drives you, you just got to go for it. So kind of ditched the whole politics thing. And then, moving around, found myself in Bakersfield, California, started my own business there with coaching. I had already been in CrossFit for several years at that point. But I had tried different things, from CrossFit to bodybuilding, powerlifting, all this different stuff, and then found coaching to be the thing I was going to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So after everything, found myself back in Arizona. So when I got back to my roots, back to ground zero, essentially, starting literally from scratch, it was an opportunity to look at myself, look at my past experiences, and who is the woman that I want to create in the next cycle, I guess. Yeah. So I've had this life experience, but what can I bring to the table next? So this is big transition. So finding a gym and finding a new home was a big thing for me, because, as you guys know, fitness, one of those things with fitness is that's your sanctity. That's your sanity. That's it's just it brings you back to you. When you feel your heartbeat, when you feel that breath, and you know that you're in control of your vessel. That's like the coolest feeling ever. And then you get to make the next step. So found myself walking through doors like, okay, I want to find a new place, one that's more Ollie based too. So I know there's programming for that. So, and I didn't want this whole, I guess, competitive nature. There is a competitive nature at PHX, don't get me wrong, and I wasn't trying to go to mom and pop either. I wanted a legit, established, good programming. Everything that you brought to the table, I was sold from day one. I didn't even need to do a week thing. I was just like, well, sign. So you take my life. Here we go. So what I loved about PHX was it was welcoming. Everyone was so welcoming. And after, especially being away from Arizona, I just needed a new family, somewhere new to spread my wings and discover myself on this new journey that I was about to take.
Yeah.
And so PHX was that welcoming place for me. And there wasn't this whole, like, you have to be the strongest, biggest, baddest girl out there. Like, you can be you, and we accept you and love you for you.
Yeah.
We want to see you grow, too. So, you know, it gave me the opportunity to coach, and I'm glad that you saw those tools in me to be able to, I guess, grow as a coach, especially at the gym, and find myself in that manner, too. But going from, I want to be the best athlete ever, to now I love coaching. I kind of put myself on the back burner. What can I produce in society? What can I give? What have I learned that now I can give back?
Yeah.
So PHX gave me that opportunity.
Right.
So then after that, decided, you know what, how am I going to pursue the educational side of things? Well, military is right in front of me. I don't have kids. I'm not married. Now is the time. I have nothing holding me back.
Yeah.
I need to make this move. So went in and signed, and I was so scared to tell you at first because it's just one of those things where, I mean anyone in the service kind of knows too, like mentors that come along your way, you're kind of scared to like see how they feel or they react towards something, especially making this big move, because you hear both negative and positive side of it. It is what it is, embrace the suck, yet also this has been like the best time of my life too, right?
Yeah.
So I came to you and I was like, okay, I did this thing. I'm going to have to leave PHX. Please don't hate me, but I joined the military. And you were like, what? And I was like, but I signed as a corpsman. And you were like, oh my God, baby doc. All right, let's go. So, I mean, that was just such a relief to me that you were supportive of that, kind of having been like one of my, fathers back in Arizona again from the fitness community. So, yeah, I found myself signing my name, and I could not be happier with this transition.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm here.
Are you
doing props many things?
Are you still content with being a green side doc? For people who don't know, what the corpsman community operates on both sides of the fence, the Navy and the Marine Corps side. The Marines don't offer or don't have our own medical personnel, so we outsource that from the Navy. So as a Navy corpsman, Jess has the ability to work exclusively with Marines or sailors. And for whatever reason, I convinced her to go green side, and she got it. So.
Yeah. So, I have had a lot of friends in Marines past, but having it been so fresh to where I was just signing up and hearing your experiences, I was like, this is definitely where I need to be. It's an active community, people that love to slay themselves just as much as I do, just a bunch of like bros. Like, and I was super stoked to do it,
plenty
right?
Of those.
Plenty of those. I get my fill daily. And so, a little bit about it. Like, there's blue side and there's green side with that whole community. I'm green side. It's one of those, like, you're voluntold to do something, but I was so happy to be voluntold. And I kind of, like, a lot of my leadership saw potential in me, so they were kind of, like, helping me along the way, talking to detailers and showing my physical capability to be able to go green side.
Okay.
That I'd be kind of a waste of a body if you were just to throw me on a ship. Like, I do not need to be stuffed in a room anywhere. I need to be, like, out in the field.
Right.
So they saw that in me, and they kind of like helped along the way. So I was voluntold, yes, but I also kind of like helped pave my path along the way too, and just made it known what I would like and what the career that I wanted to advance in the military.
Yeah.
So being greenside, I'm so happy. I mean, it sucks sometimes. I won't lie about that. But overall, I love going to my job every day. I love it. I get the opportunity to speak in people's lives daily. both nutritionally, fitness-wise, and being a mentor, being much older than a lot of people in my community, and having life experience. Sometimes they call me Mama Woods, and they're like, "What can we do, Mama Woods?"
That doesn't surprise me at all.
So it's just it's been a really good opportunity too. And I mean, obviously I learn along the way too. Every day I go to my first classes and my leadership, my chiefs and all of them. But I'm always going with, hey, what can I do to be better? Give me a new project. Like, throw me in this. What is it? Let me learn. Like, let me have hands-on. So when they see people that are willing to learn like that, they want you to do everything that you can do. But yeah, being Greenside, I freaking love it. And I get to work out all the time. I get to hike for a job. People complain about rucking and stuff like that. I freaking love it. Yeah, it kind of like makes my working out and like a lot of my strength. I mean, my strength is definitely gone down a little bit, but I've found this healthy balance and I'm so happy. I'm still strong. I can still throw down, but I can ruck. I can ruck for a long time. Like, these tree stumps were built for a reason. So I can carry a pack and I can carry my weight, and I like it. And the guys, I think, appreciate it too. I'm the only female on my unit in the place that I'm at. I'm technically part of the hospital now, but we're like the field section of the hospital because we work with a portion of MCRD, so we're all like recruit kind of kids and drill instructors and all that stuff. So I'm doing hikes weekly, and they range in miles and stuff. But man, I get to look at this beautiful sunset every day. We hike, we step off like 3 o'clock in the morning, but I get to see that sunrise, and it makes it all worth it, and I love it.
When you look back on your journey, what is the number one thing that, because you are, how old are you now?
31.
31,
yeah.
Right? So your peer group, as far as the military is concerned, is in that 18 to 22-year-old window. So of all the life experience that you brought with you into the military, what has served you the most from your civilian experience? From a maturation standpoint in such a junior place in the totem pole in the Navy?
I would say I've been through a little bit of leadership training up until this point through Clemmer & Associates. That was someone that I had worked with before. And what they offered me was a chance for me to create my own future, or at least for me to recognize how I can create that. And they by no means like, this is what you need to do. You're going to go for that now. And it wasn't sitting in a classroom, listening to stuff. It was more hands-on experience stuff. So, but it was more like, you get to look at yourself in a different aspect. And then what have I been through? And what can I bring to the table next? How can I not judge people? How can I not break military bearing? How do you give back to society? And how do you be an outstanding portion of that society too?
Right.
So I've now a lot of people come to me and go, why are you so optimistic? Why are you so happy and positive? And I'm like, that's a choice, man. Like, I've been through more shit than I'm sure you've been in your entire life too. Like, we all go through it, but everyone's level is different. Like, their bottom is different.
Right.
So I think that you can take any kind of experience and you can learn from it and you can grow from it. So you find your bottom where, you go through an experience. If you have the maturity to look back and say, okay, what did I learn from this and what can I do next? I think that really changes the game. And so I wake up every day with the choice to be happy. Even when I was living in the barracks and as a 31-year-old woman, with 19-year-old roommates that complained about fights with their boyfriends and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't, where am I right now? But you learn to separate yourself and mentally take charge and pretty much just you choose the next step. I choose how I come across. I choose how I want people to see me. And, I want people to see this joyful, fun Jessica, and one that takes life by the horns, and I will succeed. Yeah. And it might be hard, and I don't care. I sleep less than 4 hours a night sometimes, and that's fine. I chose this, and I love it, and I'm going to embrace it, and I'm going to make decisions to grow.
Nice.
What have you learned about yourself, joining the military in a structured system, coming from, being part of a CrossFit gym, and then now you're in the service, and it's so structured. They're telling you what to do, like you said, voluntold. What have you learned about yourself in that transition?
As weird as it sounds, I really love the discipline and the structure. I think definitely from the coaching aspect of it, having a program to follow, having nutrition, there's all these things where you, as a civilian, you can make these choices to be structured and disciplined, but in the military, you're told to do that, and that's life. Like, get over it, do it, kind of thing. I think for me, things that I've learned were to set myself aside sometimes and really be observant, very observant now. I want to listen more because my mama used to say, you can learn anything, Jess, from anybody's conversation. It doesn't matter if they're dumb, smart, intelligent, whatever. It's like taking chicken off the bone. We're, again, from the South. So she'd say, Jess, just take the chicken off the bone. Take the meat of what you want. The rest is the bone. Throw it away. You don't need it.
Yeah.
So I kind of take a lot of my experiences with people like that. What is something that I can get from this and learn and grow from it? You know what I mean? But yeah, I think more than anything, it's like embracing where you're at, because tomorrow is not guaranteed to you at all. And especially like through friends that I've had and conversations I've had, people that have lost people. My mom had cancer prior, almost lost my mom, like things like that. So you really start to learn tomorrow is not guaranteed. So you better learn to be happy and live in this moment, because you don't know what's next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many different type of personality types have you run across being in the military setting?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
so many.
Really?
So many.
I've heard that a lot, you know, because my pops always told me, he's like, you run across like people you've never even imagined in your life.
Everybody.
You
Yep.
know, so
Nor would you ever either like care to be in the room with
Yeah.
either. I'll say that too. You get this such a large demographic of people. But again, like you have an opportunity to, like for example, I could sit in a room and people could think I'm crazy because I'm sitting there smiling to myself,
Yeah.
or I'll start a conversation with someone. They're like, "Who's this crazy chick talking to me?"
Yeah.
And then either they like it or they don't. But you get all these demographics of different people, and I think it's a wonderful opportunity, especially for the younger people that are joining too. Even myself too. I shouldn't set myself aside from that, but you can learn from anybody that's from the East Coast, that's from another country, from Puerto Rico. You get all these different types of people, and they have life experience too, and they might have a different aspect on something, and why not learn from it?
That's true. Has there anything going through, basic, is basic correct, that really resonated and stuck with you, like as like you didn't expect that to happen, but you came out on the other side of it, like tested you to push you to your edge?
Yeah. So for me, I was scared that it was going to be a physical thing, and it totally was not that. It was quite the opposite. It was more mental than anything, and that especially like going through more training statuses, like in field medicine and stuff like that. It was never the physicality of it. I loved it. Like, beat me to the ground. Cool, let's go. It was like another wad to me. Like, all right, I'm ready to train. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So mentally, I was ready for that portion of it. What I wasn't ready for was standing by, and you are in your place, and so you learn rank, you learn structure and things like that, and you learn to appreciate it on a whole nother level, but more so just like that mindset, like knowing that whatever task is in front of you, you can beat it. Like it's just a drop in the rain. It's what do they say, like a hair in the wind. It's gonna pass, whatever is gonna pass, but being like of sound mind and being able to mentally get over whatever is in front of you, to the grave. That's the best attribute I've ever learned, and I'm grateful for it. Like I was telling Durs when I got back from boot camp, like obviously like you're a boot, you're super moto and super excited. I'm still motard, I totally am. I love it though, but I got back and I was like, I found my end. They found my buttons, and they fucking pushed my buttons. And he's like, I know. And I was like, as stupid as it is, I will never forget. I was on the quarterdeck, and I called a chief a petty officer, which is a big no-no, right?
Yeah.
So, and he like looked at me, and I knew what I did. I just stood at attention. I went to parade rest immediately. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna die. Today's the day. I'm gonna die. So I got beat for like an hour by myself on the quarterdeck. And when I say beat, like they're like yelling up, down, on your face, on your feet, on your butt, on your stomach. Like they're like just running you through it, and you're doing a lot of PT. And again, they knew me. These were people that were in my division, so they knew, like, physically as a female, I could handle it. Not a lot of females are like that. So they were like, oh, this girl, we know she can throw down. We're going to push her to her end. Physicality. So, like, I got to a point where I had, like, snot flying down my face, and I was, like, more so mad and in tears the fact that I was even in this position. I was like, how did I get here? What is happening right now? I have no control over the situation, but you embrace it. And you find this, for me, it was that mental end. I was like, okay, they got me for sure. There's like two chiefs just like screaming on top of me, like pretty cool experience. You know, in the moment, I was like, I hate this. Why did I do this?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you go through all that stuff in your head, and then in the end, when I got back into my compartment, my chief petty officer looked at me and he was like, "They got you, didn't they?" And I was like, "Yes, petty officer." So I looked at him and he was like, "You're gonna look back and you're gonna laugh at it." Damn, was he right? Yeah. And the more I go through this training stuff, I find it more and more fun. I almost look forward to training statuses and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to go through like live tissue training, and I want to go to Bridgeport, cold weather training,
shit.
all this like super shitty stuff that I want to do to myself.
Mhm.
And I'm like excited to find out more about myself internally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because
dope.
it makes you like not like an athlete, yes, but a stronger person, a stronger
Yeah.
female, a stronger mind. Yeah.
Do you think? Go ahead, Darcy.
I was gonna say, what is the thing that you said that what you thought it was gonna be, it wasn't. You thought it was gonna be physical. That wasn't the deal at all. Which I think I told you that.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. But what was the thing? Like, what was the mental part of the game that you discovered about yourself? Like, what sticks out in your mind as like the lesson or the thing about you that you may not have recognized prior to this experience that you have now?
That thing was that I can always do more and I can always do better. What I thought was my best wasn't actually my best.
Yeah.
That I could absolutely do more. And that, you can keep going at a task. You can keep going at something, like even the physicality portion of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the end. You think you might reach your end, but man, your body's a lot stronger than your mind is. So you just reach for that one last step, one last ruck, one last push-up, one last whatever it is.
Yeah.
One last freaking, even if you're a scribe, one more sentence, whatever it is. Like, there's always one more that you can give. You can yell a little bit louder. You can stand a little bit taller. So there's always a way to get better. So
Sure.
that to me was that moment. When I was
Okay.
getting beat on that quarter deck, I was
Yeah.
like, I can do one more push-up. When my body was like, nope, no, you cannot. But yeah, I think that has been the lesson for me. So like now going back to school and the military, it's been kind of hard because, my job is really random with hours and days and field and hikes and physicality and blah, 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 blah. Normal life. People in civilian life have that too. It's just, it looks different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Different set of sunglasses, different set of filters.
Sure.
But now I'm adding school on top of it, and I still keep my nutrition on point, working with Caitlin
Yeah.
and with macros and metcons, and still trying to keep my nutrition on point. Trying to study in the field. I take my note cards out with me on the field when
Yeah.
we're not doing anything. Other guys are like throwing rocks at water bottles. If you follow Terminal Lance, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The kids just like finding stupid stuff
Kicking
to
rocks
do.
and shit.
I'll never forget. I was in the field one time, and it was pouring rain. And this was in field medicine, so it was
Field
pouring.
stories
It
are
was
the best.
it was pouring rain on us, and I had my note cards in a plastic baggie, and like. One person forgot their Gore-Tex, so no one can wear Gore-Tex, right? So one person forgets it, so you're not allowed to wear anything rain protectant. So we're all sitting there just soaking wet. Their Kevlar, like rain just dripping off your Kevlar into onto you, and you're soaked. And now your flak is like an extra 40 pounds because it's soaked with water. And you're sitting here like leaning on your pack, and you're like, where did I get to this point in my life? You're like really, just, like everything goes back. You're like, why did I do this?
Yeah.
How did
And
I
I'm
get here?
studying my note cards in a plastic bag, and everyone else is throwing rocks at each other, right? And I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like a little bit better for making myself study in this really terrible situation.
Yeah.
So like, that's the one thing, what's that next thing that you can do to make yourself a little bit better? So
That's dope.
yeah, so that's been my experience.
That's awesome.
Sitting where you are today, you're mature going into to the service, 31, and you say you had like a lot of the younger age demographics coming in 18 to 22. Looking where you are today, do you feel like you got in at the perfect time right now, or do you wish you had done it earlier?
I do wish I did it earlier. However, I know I'm where I'm supposed to be at the right time. Yeah, like nothing happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Everything I've gone through, I've been able to speak in people's lives and not even know it. Like they've come back to me like, Jess, that really means a lot to me. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, just sharing a story with you, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I really encourage people to have conversation and be open and vulnerable with others, because you don't know how that other person's taking that conversation. They could learn something from it that you had no intention of sharing,
Yeah.
you know, a life-changing thing, or even whatever it is. It could be a small thing, but down the road that could mean something to that person. So
Yeah.
don't you're robbing someone from learning or from their personal growth by keeping to yourself. I feel like it's necessary for people to be a little bit more open, a little bit more vulnerable. They'll find more about themselves as well as influence other lives around them.
Right.
So I'm really happy to be where I'm at my age with my maturity level. I come at it with a completely different angle, and yes, I do want to, you know, succeed and go the nursing route, and I have the career goal in mind. But my mentors look at that and they go, "Okay, we're going to help you with that." They're very supportive of it, but I'm also very respectful, and I want my work to be the best that I can give them too.
Yeah.
So it's like a tit for tat kind of thing. Like, it's, you know, leadership to me is from someone. Yes, we'll go to battle with you. We all know that, right? That's the PC answer. But really, it's that leader that sees the best in you, and they push you a little bit farther. And then when they see that in me, or at least this is how I take it, when they see that kind of greatness in me, it makes me want to help their job be a little bit easier for them.
Yeah.
I want to help them shine too, because I want all their peers to see what a great leader that is in my life. And so it's
Right.
like this like tiering thing, right? So like, he's helping me, I want to help him, and you know, it makes everyone's job a little bit easier, and everyone gets to grow from that.
Yeah. See, I love hearing that, because that's motivational and inspirational to hear that you have such a positive framing, because, you know, you hear a lot of people where they like, I wish I would have done, they look at somebody else's story and they relate it to their life. They're
Yeah.
like, for entrepreneurship, for instance,
Yeah.
they're like, they'll see a kid who started at 14 years old, becomes a billionaire, whatever, and say, I wish I was doing that at that age. It's like, you weren't even ready to do what this
Right.
man or woman is doing at that age.
Right.
And they don't enjoy their journey to get to where they are in their current situation.
Right.
So I love that you have such a positive outlook on that, because I think that's truly inspirational and motivating, because you're living your best life and you're not comparing your story to anybody else's, whether they're
Right.
younger or older.
Yeah.
You know, and
Right.
that's very, I mean, my hat's off to you, because a lot of people would
Hats
look
off
at,
my mama. She
Yeah.
taught me so much.
'cause I think that's huge, because
Well done, Mom.
that's, you know, it shows that you're very self-aware, and because age is honestly the dumb saying, like, age is nothing but a number, and it's true, because
Yeah.
you are where you're supposed to be because of the situations. You may not have been ready to be exposed to those type of stressors at an earlier age. So it's great to
Yeah.
see you doing so fantastic.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thanks. I mean, it definitely, like, I hit some low points before, but
Yeah.
everyone's low point's a little bit different. But man, you cannot compare yourself to anybody else,
It's
because you'll
true.
always fall short.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to compare yourself to who you were yesterday and who you can be tomorrow, but live in the now.
Yeah.
Because again, their mental spot, you can always do a little bit more. So
Sure.
if you're here in the now, I'm gonna stay awake one more hour and study a little bit more, and
Yeah.
get 1% better on my test the next day, kind of stuff.
See,
You know,
yeah, because like studying your note cards in the rain, you know, like
miserable.
I know at 18, if I were in that situation, I would have been throwing rocks. Like, just be honest with you, you know.
Yeah.
But being older, you can see like what they're doing is not necessarily important. It's just killing time, and you're sitting
Yeah.
here taking advantage of sort of like essentially the dead time that everybody else sees, and you're making it, you know, positive.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Well, I tell people all the time, you know, that are junior in status within the military, or even after they get out and they don't know what to do with the benefits that are just sitting on the table, the GI Bill and stuff like that. You know, I always looked at it as, you know, Uncle Sam I'm contractually obligated to give Uncle Sam everything he asks for.
Yeah.
At the same time, there's all kinds of shit written into the fine print that allows me to use Uncle Sam for everything that he's worth as well.
100%.
And I don't think
Yeah.
that message is preached enough. You know, my big brother, for example, he's in his Twilight tour in Quantico right now, and he's going to retire with a master's degree on Uncle Sam's dime.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, that's the kind of thing that if you see the forest for the trees, you know, above and beyond, you know, throwing rocks and weights and just marking time, you can use these resources to your advantage and intentionally make yourself better, as opposed to what you'll hear when you get up for that next assignment.
Yeah.
Wherever you end up, there are people that are there already,
Yeah.
and they just wound up there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And rather than putting themselves in a situation where they got to choose, or making the best of a situation that they have now, and being positive and productive about
Yeah.
it, they just sit and wallow and
And they wait.
Woe is me.
They wait.
Yeah.
What am I gonna get next?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta do something about it.
Yeah.
Mhm. You know, like
Yeah.
for everything that you want to do requires you to be the best version of yourself possible, right? To get that officer candidate package, to get
Yeah.
the into nursing school and
Yourself.
all those good things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've sat on those boards and looked at those packages, you know, and there are people that they're the rock throwers, we'll call them, you know what I mean? They submit for that shit too. And it's like, how did this kid even get a package in?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't match. Your actions don't match your desired goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the fact that you're aware enough to see that, I think that comes with maturity. So you being in the right place at the right time is because you're in the right place at the right time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no, big ups to you for seeing that. And what I also love about your situation, being, 30 plus in the junior ranks right now, is it's by your choosing. You know,
I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't.
there's I had a lot of apprehensions, as I expressed to you before you left for Great Lakes.
Which a lot of them came true. Sitting in the barracks, like, why am I here?
You do realize
Yeah.
that. Okay, cool.
Got it.
Just making
Noted.
Sure. All right. We had a lot of those conversations, and you not necessarily to dissuade you from your decision, but to really open your eyes as to what you were really getting yourself into. And I really admire your conviction and sticking to your guns and knowing that you did your homework. You know that there is a path, and this is just one of the steps that you have to take
Right.
in that journey.
Yeah.
And whereas many would have been like, oh, fuck, I don't want to be in the barracks with 19-year-olds again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in a totally different space in my life,
Yep.
But that's not a deterrent. For you, it's a motivator.
To get
know?
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, to get better. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, definitely, this is a career choice for me at my age. I'm not trying to like change careers again, right?
Right, right.
Having gone through politics and having a degree already, things like that. Like I don't want to wait around anymore. Like, what's next? What's next? What's next?
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
yeah.
And it keeps me busy, and I like it. Keeps
Sure.
my mind busy. The one thing I've had to really work on is finding that balance of like, okay, you've now worked yourself literally into the ground. When do you take care of you?
Oh, yeah.
So my gym time really is that, and I've changed a lot of my training and things like that to just straight sleigh sessions, where I still definitely get my sleigh fest in there for sure. But sometimes I'm like, I'm just gonna go lift for a couple hours, do a couple squats. I'm not even gonna have a program today. I just want to move. I'm gonna do this workout barefoot. Fuck
Yeah.
it. So like, you get to those points too. You're like, you gotta take care of your mind and body too.
Yeah,
So, that's been. I'm now starting to come to that point where I'm like, okay, now I gotta definitely figure out this portion of it too. And my yoga practice is definitely like a big thing to me too.
Sure.
So if I'm missing it on that, I'm like, dang, I know that's going to keep me grounded in the center too. So I always have to find time for that eventually. But yeah,
It comes and goes.
Yeah.
It's just an ebb and flow. Like,
it really is.
and we
It
talk
really
about
is.
like just like the goal writing process or anything. And we talked about it with Mike Bledsoe like the other day. I asked him a question like, "What's your purpose?" And he's like, "You have many purposes. It's not just one single
Oh,
target,
yeah,
And like
totally.
goals are always shifting and changing. So it's like constantly monitoring yourself and that feeling and saying, am I in the right situation? Do I feel happy doing what I'm doing? If so, keep going.
Right.
If not, like let's find out that adjustment,
And I was joking with you guys earlier, and I really do mean that like when you think you have it figured out, you better hold on.
Yeah.
As we would say in the story, stand the fuck by, because that will change.
Yeah.
Like, you think you have it figured out, then you're doing it wrong. You're doing
Right.
something wrong, because something has to change for growth, right? Change comes at the end of your comfort zone. So like you find yourself at the end of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun to be like, okay, well, I'm comfortable and I'm happy, and something else comes along, well, that just took a huge divot in the road. What, you know, how can I, like, what's next? Like, you gotta keep that positive mind frame, otherwise you'll find yourself suffering real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's this area helped you, like, mentally? Because it's, like you said, you mentioned the location.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, like, you manifested it, though, like being top in your class
Yeah.
and getting the opportunity to come out here. It's not just it happened, but it happened through your manifestation, through your hard work.
Right,
like,
right.
how's the energy feel to you being in this area, coming from the South, moving out here? Do you feel a difference?
I think that it's helped. Okay, this is gonna sound so kind of like over the top moto, but
Go woo woo, girl.
but like, okay, honestly, being a female in an all male, you know, environment, which I'm not abnormal to. It's not like unfamiliar for me. Being a coach and being in the gym all the time, I'm used to being around all the bros.
Yeah.
I get it, and I fit in. I think. I don't know if
No,
I
you
fit
fit
do
in.
all
All
right.
right. I'll pay you later.
We'll talk about it.
No, but being a female here, being in this place, it's allowed me to manifest my like individual prowess, if you will. Like
yeah.
as a female, being like, okay, yeah, hear me roar. I'll throw down just as hard too.
Yeah.
So it's been really fun for me here. Also, I am a huge outdoorsy person, so, you know, being taken away from Arizona where you have Sedona and all these beautiful places to go, oh my gosh, California has so much to offer too. It's funny because I said I'd never live back here if it was on my own dime, and here I am, but not on my own dime, right? Like,
Manifested
and
that
thank
too.
the Lord for that, because I get the beach here. I get to learn how to surf, which I've always wanted to do. That's super cool. I get to like go do my homework while the sun sets on the water.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
And again, I get to hike in the morning. It might suck. I might have a pack on. But you know what? I get to the top of that mountain, and I get to see both the ocean and the rest of the hills behind me. And not a lot of people get that opportunity to see a view like that. I'm not in the sandbox. Thank God for that right now. But being greenside, who knows what's going to happen you know, next few
Yeah.
years. And I can't wait for it. But in the here and the now, I get this land around me, and I'm going to run it as much as I can and just get the full experience of it.
I love that.
Do you journal?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go back and read your journal?
I do sometimes. And I really like, I've not been as good as it right now being back in school. Because like I get done, I'm like, okay, lights out, I'm done crashing. But there have been times when I've journaled, especially like my divorce and things like that, and growing into who I am now, because I am not the woman I was 2 years ago by any means, by and large, completely 180. And I love the woman I am now. Like, I think that I do have something to give to society, and I think I'm like a pretty cool chick to have as a friend, maybe. I don't know. I like to have fun. So I like to look back at these things and see where I've come from, because again, you always have something to learn from. And it's interesting because you're like, ooh, I felt like that.
Yeah.
Really? That's like what I was manifesting at the time.
Right.
So then therein lies your choice on what you're going to do next.
You led off with happiness being a choice, but I know prior to joining the Navy, that wasn't necessarily a mantra of yours. So when did it become so? When did you start living in that happiness is a choice? Like, what was the catalyst?
I really don't know what the catalyst was for me. Maybe it really was joining, because I knew that I was supposed to do that. I knew from 18. Like, I thought I was going to join the Navy. Here I am in the Navy. And when I was 18 years old, I'll never forget, my government teacher was like one of the biggest inspirations in my life. And he was like, dude, you're going to be great if you do like the NSA kind of stuff. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll totally rock intel. I could do that. Yeah. Didn't do it. And I made those choices because of other people's opinions. So I look back at that and go, well, that was a kick in the ass, because here I am at 30 now doing it when I could have been doing it at 18. And, you know, we were talking earlier about, do you wish you could have, you know, done something different back then? It's not really that I wish I would have done it different. I mean, I had the opportunity, but I'm here now because now I'm chasing a medical career, and by God, do I love my job in the medical world. I've never felt like I've belonged somewhere before so much.
Yeah.
And so I found my niche for sure, like human body, hands healing, medical world. Oh, I just love it. Corman are pretty weird. We like some weird shit. So, but
Given any silver bullets lately?
actually, 2 in the last couple days. Yeah. It's been a couple. Oh my gosh, we did a Silkies hike the other day, last Saturday.
Okay.
We did a Silkies hike. So it's like, I think we had like 1,600 people, and it was all active duty,
Yeah.
active and veteran, stuff like that. So I had my pack on and my med bag and my thermometer is like, you could visibly see it.
Yeah.
So another corpsman grabbed it, took the thermometer out, and put it on the end of one of his American flag poles
Okay.
and started like running around, like trying to like, it's all Marines too.
Yeah,
So he's
yeah.
like, I'm coming for you, Doc's coming for you. Oh my God. I was like crying, laughing. So it was just, and I was like, bro, you need to be careful. It's got fresh ass juice on that. These Marines are like, no.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a daily for me.
Is
It's
it?
a daily.
Oh.
Well, I'm in recruit training. Like,
Oh,
it's all
yeah.
it's all these like, little kids. But then again, I get to speak in these little kids' lives. Oh my gosh, they call me like, they're like, stop mothering these kids. I don't mother these kids. I'm definitely, my mom was harder on me than I feel like boot camp is on a lot of these kids. Like,
No shit.
my mama was like, that's not gonna fly. I mean, it's not. Boot
I
camp
get
is
it.
nowhere
I get
what
it.
it is
I get
now
it.
to what it was with y'all.
Okay.
Nothing like it was then. Trust me. So much more SOPs changed. Oh my goodness. But
The only thing I really know is that you can't respond in the affirmative with the word kill anymore.
we can to each other, but not to the kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
I
yeah.
shouldn't call them kids recruits. They're
Boots.
yeah, boots for sure. I'm still a boot. What can I say? I have not done shit yet. But yeah, I get to, these 18-year-old kids come in the back of my car and they're like sick and lonely, and I'm like, so you got a Reaper tomorrow, huh? And they're like, yes, ma'am, stuff like that, and like getting the opportunity to speak in their lives, like, I don't care, but I might come at it from a different angle.
Yeah.
They see a human again because they're not used to humans; they're used to drill instructors.
Sure.
So they get to talk to me, and they're like, "Okay, I can do this. Like, yeah, I got this. I
Yeah.
got this." It was like a fresh motivation for them. So that's really fun to be able to kind of like be that motivator for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't remember where I went on that tangent, but
Well,
yeah.
I mean, like, do you see yourself at this point in your life being somebody that you wish you had at some point way back when?
I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Who is that?
Oh, that's what we're talking about. A catalyst as to like when,
Happiness is your choice,
happiness
yeah.
being my choice. I wish that I would have known this Jessica probably, I'm going to say like 6 years ago.
Okay.
A lot of things would have looked different. A lot of things would have. I kind of took an interim in my life for a little while, for a few years there. Lost myself to someone else, and I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
I'll never make that choice again.
Sure,
Because
sure,
I
sure,
have
sure.
that power to make that choice. And you know what? Whatever happens down the road, someone else gets to see a different side of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely wish that, like, wish I would have known what I knew then, right? That kind of stuff. But I still wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
I might be 31, but especially in the military, people are like, "Oh my God, you're so old. How does it feel?" They'll laugh. They'll be like, "So what were the 60s like, Jess?" And I'm like, "Yo, whoa. Bring that shit down a notch." Oh man, we'll take it out back when I can clean more than you can. So yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
But I'm even being 31. I'm really happy to be 30 thriving. Right? That's like the new thing. I don't know, something like
30's
that.
new 20.
Right? I heard that one like a Calvin magazine. I don't know. But I wish I would have known myself a little bit sooner because I'd have more life, more years down the road to share my story
Sure.
too.
You got plenty left.
But
so
I still got
yeah,
plenty left,
yeah.
exactly. So in hindsight, I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Sure.
Have you defined a vision for your life at this point, or where you want to be?
I belong in the practice of healing. I do. I belong in the practice of medicine. I belong, Durs knew me when I was trying to do some internship stuff with physical therapy because I really found my niche. I found my niche with the human body. And coaching requires a different skill set, a different set of eyes. I feel like coaches that really know their shit know how to look at a body, and you can assess them from the ground up. All the movement pattern, things like that. It's not just like, hey, bro, let's go lift a lot of weight. Not at all. There's science to it. You're breaking down foundation. So when you can look at someone's body and go, oh my gosh, okay, we're gonna fix this, this, and this. We're gonna change this, and even like when you're training like a female, for example, from female to female, I had one of my girls get her very first pull up, and she cried, and I was like, it was just a pull up. I don't know, okay, but I was younger when I was was coaching at that point. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, she was a woman too. She was like she was almost 40, and she got her very first pull-up, and she cried. She was like, I've wanted to do a pull-up since I was like 13. I've never been able to do one.
Wow.
So like that kind of stuff is so cool to me. Like seeing someone change over some of the simplest things. But my simple is different than someone else's simple. So everyone's life journey is a little bit different. Yeah.
I love that. That's fire. Jess, we need you around more often, girl.
Well, come find me on the beach.
I miss you. I miss
We're
you.
going to come out and see you in OC.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
How many years you got left here?
I'm here till 2020.
Ooh,
If I don't get
plenty
picked up
time.
for my officer package, so we'll see.
Okay, so I
We'll
guess
see.
you're getting picked up for it, so
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
Lord willing,
There's
Lord
no
willing.
if, when.
you're gonna
Yeah.
get picked up for it
Yeah.
already.
But I gotta tell you, I've never felt more just in tune with the medical side of things. I never, ever in a million years, being from the politics world, never would have thought I'd ever go back to school for medicine. Like,
Yeah.
I have to start from ground zero again. I have to go back to all my prereqs for science classes, all this kind of stuff. I have a degree, but now I have to get a double bachelor's just to be able to get my practitioner license. So, like, looking back, I'm like, dang, this is a lot of school for what I want to do. But I found my niche. And when I have hands on a patient, when I have the opportunity to heal someone through medicine, oh, that's such a cool feeling. Like, and everything else, it's like tunnel vision. Like, I laughed because, like, when I went through TCCC and like CAS evacuations and stuff like that, you have algorithms and things like that, but you drill, right? But I've never felt so zoned in to when I had a patient in front of me and I was like, okay, nothing else. I don't hear any noise. I don't hear fire. I don't hear anything else. I just have my patient in front of me. So now, definitely finding that there's career paths. And on Uncle Sam's Dollar, thank the Lord, because, now pursuing nursing and then going into the flight nurse community and being able to pursue stuff from that aspect, like, I get to have fun and do one of the coolest jobs ever.
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
saves someone's life.
That's what's up.
It's nice when you're in flow because you're doing a career you love and you have the outlet of lifting or working out, and that's something that you're passionate about as well.
And
So
I
it's
get
like,
to do it for a job.
it's like
Yeah.
that's the best place, that's the best lane to be in, because life doesn't feel like you're pressing against a wall.
Yes.
Like, you're just have that perfect flow in life, and that's just a beautiful place to be. And I'm happy that you found it, because and you actually seek I don't know the word, like you sought it out, and like
And
actively sought it out,
right.
because a lot of people, they'll sit in their misery and say, like, I wish, and they'll put all these barriers in front of them, and they're like, who told you these barriers exist?
Yeah.
And you're showing people that it's like, there are no barriers. If I want to go into this, I'm going to do it. I'm going to bust my ass, no matter my age or anything that was against me. Like, I love that mindset.
And even in the military, there's so many boundaries that are put up, so many walls that are put up. Oh, you don't have this? Sorry. Try again. So, like, there's so many things like that, but there's ways around that.
Yeah.
Like, you fight for what you want. It might be a little bit harder in the military because there are, like actual, instructions that are listed, stuff like that. But, I mean, in the long run, like, you'll find a way. There's a way. And, when people go, I wish, well, stop wishing and do.
Yeah.
Like, take that next step. It's uncomfortable. Yeah, it's scary, but I'm right here with you.
Right.
That's a coach's job. I'm right here with you. Like, I've got you. It's like learning how to do a back handspring for the first time. You're going to get off the ground. Like, you're going to have no joints on the ground, but you have to trust me being right there next to you. So, like, that's super cool to be a coach in that aspect where you can, like, I'm right here with you, and then having someone to trust themselves in you. And that's how I feel with a lot of my mentors too. Like, I will die next to them because I'm like, I trust you and you trust me too. So that's a pretty cool feeling. I think the catalyst for me, when I realized this is the new Jessica that I want to portray, it was the outlet of the military, because it's given me the opportunity to do so many different things and find out more about myself.
Sure.
Absolutely. But yeah, it's having that outlet. And, I know we've had other podcasts earlier from today too, where they talk about, I got up and moved from one state to another. That's a scary thing. That's a super scary thing, to pick up your life and just start over. But when you have a calling, we know you're supposed to do something, you have to do it.
Yeah.
If not, you will regret that, and you will look back and go, if I coulda, if I woulda.
Sure.
I wish, I
Right.
wish. There's I wish. So you just have to do, and it's scary, but things fall into place, and you'll make things happen, and you'll find out more about yourself too.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Navy's really, I'm grateful, and happy birthday, Navy, today, 1775.
Is it?
13.
Hey, happy
Hey.
birthday.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
I'll watch somebody swim to that.
But yeah,
Good job.
this was my outlet. Yeah, I'm really grateful because there's a lot of cool stuff down the road. Can't wait to do it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Excited to see you continue to crush it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
Man.
it's really interesting how you've not only accepted quality guidance from quality leaders, but you've also taken that and become a quality leader of yourself
you.
as well.
Thank you.
And you know, the military is just a place where you get to see all sides of leadership, good, bad, and indifferent. And I think that it's in your best interest as you pursue your own greatness that you align yourself with leaders that may or may not be inside your chain of command that can write those letters of recommendation for you,
Right.
that have, you know, your direct your higher in their ear, you know, and you seem to have mastered one of the things that takes people years to understand about the military, and it is a people business, just like coaching is a people business, just like fitness is a people business.
Right.
And you can never have a big enough network.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because you know your direct report may not have the answer to the question you're asking,
Yep.
but you can reach sideways and above
Yep.
and get that shit figured out.
Yep.
And I think one of the things that I always tell people about the military, if you ever want to get shit done, figure it out in the gym, because there's no rank in the weight room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You as an
Yeah.
HN can walk up to an 06
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and ask a
Definitely.
question unabridged with zero negative ramifications.
Yep.
And it's really fucking hilarious how things get done when you address the man or woman at the top of the chain in an informal environment that doesn't require any fucking paperwork or anything else.
Yeah.
So by pushing yourself to these to go above and beyond what your peers are doing, it just better positions you to have the voice that you have now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's actually funny you say that. I've had a couple conversations with the first sergeant in the gym a few
Okay.
times, right?
Yeah.
I got to like patch up his daughter's feet. She cut her foot. So like I was doc for his daughters. Such a cool experience, because now he's like, yo, Doc Woods. And then it's like first sergeant, and all the other Marines are like, whoa, you talked to our first sergeant like that? And I'm like, he's cool, man. Like,
Yeah. As long
we're gym
as,
bros.
yeah, as long as you address them
Oh,
accordingly.
absolutely.
good to go.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Full respect.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Otherwise, because first sergeant, master sergeant, whatever, it's like you're supposed to be afraid of them.
Yeah. Yeah. You still gotta do the little creep up, right? But once they make it known it's cool, you're
Yeah.
good. Once they fist bump you, you can fist bump back.
He started it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's so funny you say that, Joe. It totally can happen in the gym.
Mhm.
And I love being, oh man, like I love being one of the strong females. I
You
do
guys get
enjoy
so
it.
much love. So much love. Like
We're treated
being-
like one of the bros, so
being
I enjoy it.
being a strong female, you already have a solid presence, but being a physically strong female in this Spartan culture that is the Marine
Totally
Corps
Spartan. That's
is
such a good analogy.
is a huge plus, and when I was in, a lot of my buddies who were just kind of biding their time through the process, because on the officer side in the Marine Corps, it's a lottery. So not everybody doing the job is doing what they signed up to
Oh,
do.
100%,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Mhm.
And I'm sure you see
History degrees doing like comm stuff.
that. Yeah,
like, okay.
it's like, fuck, how did I get? I wanted to be
Yeah.
a grunt. Now
Yeah.
I'm an adge.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
So like you can, make, if you life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, right? And I got to spend a lot of time volunteer coaching. Really got to harness my craft and strength and conditioning. I got to go out and bodybuild, and I was fully endorsed by
Yeah.
the Marine Corps. And my buddies were like, "How the fuck do you get to do all these things?" And I'm like, "Well, I asked for it,
Yeah.
and I'm not an asshole.
Yeah.
You know, those are kind of the two main ingredients. You know, the command isn't going to give you what you want just by wanting it.
Yeah.
They're not going to read your mind. The
Yeah.
mission's got to come first. And if what you want doesn't interfere with the mission, chances are the answer is yes.
Yeah.
You know, but it seems like you're getting everything that you're asking for, and at the same time, you're going above and beyond your peers in helping with that mission accomplishment. So
Yeah.
you're killing two birds with one stone, and
Yeah,
that does
thanks,
nothing
man.
but help you.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, I mean, you said it yourself. The mission always does come first, and I've had people come up to me too. Why do you get to do that? Oh, that's female. You get special treatment. I'm like, yo, you don't see like that. I'm working all day, and then I go to school at night. Like,
yeah,
you don't see that side of it. What you see is what you want to see, because it might be excuse for your laziness. I don't have
Yes.
to tell you, man. So like,
Uh-huh.
then they're like, oh, well, okay. Okay, maybe you're right. And then, like, you know, my chain of command will back me and be like, she definitely, like, I volunteer to come in on Saturdays if I'm not in class and things like that, to like try and help out my team as much as I can, because I don't want to be looked at. Number one, I'm a female. I already got targeted with back, so I have to, and it's by choice. I want to go above and beyond. I'm not going to be that female that they look at me and go, she got, because it's handed to her. Oh, hell to the no.
right.
No way, especially not green side. That will not fly. You earn what you get,
Yeah.
and you fight for what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. Some people go, oh, that's taxing. Yeah, okay. Just makes you a little bit stronger. A little bit more dirt in your nails never hurt.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to, like, as long as that mission's first, your command will absolutely. There's enough people on your team that they'll find, like, you can make it work.
There's more than enough bodies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Give
But
me two.
there-
Give me two.
The command's willingness to work with you is completely dependent on your willingness
Yeah.
to help the command. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good. It sounds like you just have very solid leadership above you that is, you know, putting you in these positions to grow and accumulate more skills and credentials and stuff like that. For a lot of people, that's a byproduct of punishment. You know, like, you're a shitbag, so here's more work.
Yeah.
You know, in your case, it's feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me.
Totally.
And they're rewarding you with more work and
Yeah.
beefing that resume. So when you do submit that officer package, you're like, damn, she's got it sewed up tight. She's ready to go.
I hope so. Like,
Yeah.
even being as junior as I am as an HN, only 3, but like, hopefully they do that kind of stuff too. I mean, I really appreciate that we get to do like boards and things like that, because paper says so much.
Sure.
And you can have so much on paper, but then you meet that person behind the paper and you're like, okay, so now I see a different light of who this person
Right.
is. And I think that's a great opportunity the military gives people. And I mean, you said it so many times yourself, like, people don't go after these opportunities. They know they're there. They're just not going after it. Or they don't want to do the research, because there's so much the military can do for you too. So, like, if you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to fight for it, like, by all means, you're going to get it. Like,
For sure.
totally. So props to my first class, and H1 Lee has been super awesome, and so is HM2 Williams. They're like my direct chain of command on field section.
Okay.
And H1 Lee came from 3-5. And so this dude is like, this dude's
Yeah.
awesome, right?
Okay.
Knows his shit. And he is just so willing to, like, be like, okay, what do you want to do next? Like, what, like, there's just a phone call away. Like, what else can we add on your plate? So he's really, like, him and HM2 Williams have been so great in helping the rest of the command too, all the guys around me, like, yo, she's going to get this because she fights for it. And I even bring in, like, speakers to be like, hey, you want to do this en route care program? I'm going to set this up for you guys. Let's set it up so we can all do it together. Like,
Nice.
you know, it's like that kind of stuff. And it just brings the team a little bit closer too. We're a really close-knit clinic.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful for that. So, I mean, I'm where I'm supposed to be at the time I'm supposed to be here. My clinic's awesome. My leadership is awesome. And I'm just really excited for what's going to happen next.
That's awesome.
That's dope.
Yeah. Before we let you get out of here today, tonight,
Yeah, night now.
the sunset's
These
amazing.
Crazy.
Arizona guys are not used to this cold weather.
New Mexico, I take that. No, I'm joking.
You know, in terms of your daily practice now, you got so much going on, and you know, consistency is key. But with an inconsistent lifestyle, I'll ask you 2 questions, and you can answer them on any level, whatever speaks to you, mental, physical, spiritual. Go for it. But I'll ask them back to back. The first of which is, what do you do each and every day to feed yourself and create that choice of happiness? And the second of which is, what do you do each and every day to fuel yourself and create that sustainable happiness over the long term?
Okay. I would say to feed myself, I pray every day, every morning, every night, whatever it is. And I listen to a lot of worship music too, because it really just, it amps me up. It vibes me up. Don't get me wrong. I love my metal music. I'm a metalhead up and down, like total, like rocker chick. But my worship music just brings me back down to ground zero. Like that's, and I feel that energy too. So that's something for me that definitely feeds me. Even when I'm doing yoga, I'm praying the majority of the time. It's just my time where I can chill out and really get rooted and grounded and centered. Yeah, my heart chakra, that's one that I have to feed. So as we know about the chakras too. Like that third eye is going to be face on my mat. And then my heart chakra is just like grounded in. And I love it. It's just, once you start a yoga practice, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And then my fueling, what I would say that would definitely be the gym for me.
Okay.
For sure. So, like, people know me, and if I don't get to work out that day, I'm not a happy Jess. Like, just let me get mine, and I'll be totally good to go. Like, even if it means go running or rucking 3 miles, whatever. Go run. I get to run on the beach in the morning. Still freaking cool. It sucks every minute of it because it hurts really bad. But at the end, you're like, I did that. That was cool. Tap on the back, good to go. Sweat for the day. If I don't sweat and get my endorphins going in some form or fashion, it's just I gotta. That's my time.
Yeah.
Like, even if I'm like rushing to get to class or something, I'm gonna go hammer out like a nasty set of squats, like an AMRAP of like a 10-minute AMRAP. I don't know, friggin' something to get buried under a barbell. I love it.
Friggin' something. I know you spend too much time on the green side. Those two words don't come in combination naturally. Friggin' something. Friggin' something. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, friggin' ears.
And then where can everybody in this community go connect with you and support you on your journey?
Yeah. Wait, say that one more time?
Where can everybody go in this community go follow you and support you on your journey?
I mean, I'm not like, so, let's see, my Instagram? Yeah, Instagram, it'd be JESKA 820, so Jessica 820. You'll see me. I'm like the girl lifting weights on my main picture thing. And probably tagged in a couple things on CrossFit PHX on my Facebook also.
Cool.
So yeah, Jessica Woods. So yeah, follow me. I got a bunch of stuff on there from like military to my nerdy life. So feel free.
That's what's up.
That's what's
up.
Yeah.
No, it's so good to catch up with you.
Absolutely.
This was an unexpected surprise.
Yeah, real talk.
That we spent the day with you. We got to throw down with you. Got to hear about your hip hop roommate, your hip hop comedian roommate.
She's so cool.
And
Love you, Sarah.
just catch up with your life to date. I'm so proud that you saw this thing all the way through. You ended up out here, and you are reaping the rewards of all that hard work, and you're now in a place where you get to choose to live life on purpose.
Yeah.
And that's so massive. So I'm proud of you, girl.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I can't wait to report. I love reporting back. Like, I did this and I did that. Oh, man. I learned this. So I really
awesome.
appreciate you, like, supporting me in that journey, too. And my PHX family, like, I miss all you guys so much back at home. Oh, my gosh. I miss y'all so much. But just know, like, every time I call back home, I'm like, what's new? They're like, not really too much, man. Not too much. I'm like, well, I got stuff to tell you. I got to come home soon and, like, talk to you all. So, yeah, I just wait for me. Just hold out a little longer. I'll be home soon. And I miss all you guys. Miss the family.
Yeah,
sure.
we miss you, too. But I'm glad to see you doing well.
Jim's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Sweet.
So you know where home is.
Yeah,
for sure. For everybody out there in Feed Me, Fuel Me world, make sure you get out there and support everything that Jessica has going on. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
So good to say that to you. Still
Thank you for support.
Still feels weird as fuck
I know, right?
when I say it. It means my time in the sun is done.
It's like my dad Marine over here. My dad Marine.
Yeah, but no, for real. Thanks for everything that you brought to PHX while you were there. Thanks for everything that you bring back when you report. And like I said, you know where home is.
Yeah.
And until next time, guys, feed me, fuel me.
Later.